Our beliefs are created from our thoughts that we think. And what's even crazier is that 98% of the thoughts that we have are not even our own. Whoever has like the stronger emotional connection to their belief wins the fucking game. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the She's Next Level podcast. I'm your host, Darsh, and I help women live their most expansive life and look hotter, feel healthier, and be happier. So if that is something that you want to do, then make sure that you subscribe and stick around because we release episodes every Thursday. So today's episode is pretty much a prerequisite for something really, really special that I'm launching. I'm going to announce it at the very end for you guys because if you listen to the end of this episode, you will take away so much value. And if you do decide that you want to dive deeper, then stay tuned till the very end because I will be revealing everything. But today I really wanted to dive into manifestation, and I was thinking about like, what do I want to talk about when it comes to manifestation? Because I feel like this is something that is so out there in the world. And if you're new to manifestation, then I'm glad that you're here because I will be kind of going over what it truly is and kind of giving you guys like the biggest missing piece that not a lot of people talk about that really makes a difference in how you manifest, like how you create your reality. Because at the end of the day, we are constantly creating our reality. We are constantly manifesting day in and day out. And so we want to make sure that we are creating a life that we love in the way that we want to, because I want you guys to first and foremost know that you are fully in control of your reality. So the things that are happening in your life that you don't like, that you like, all of it is all happening because of the thoughts and beliefs and the emotions that we have, that we hold, and that we have collected upon throughout our life experience. And it's really interesting because I first got into manifestation back in like 2023. And I didn't even know what manifestation was until I first learned about the subconscious mind. So that was my first introduction to this world. And just learning about the subconscious mind was really interesting because I didn't realize that we all have a subconscious mind. I know it sounds crazy to me just thinking about it now because I'm like, duh, like, how do we not know? It's becoming so popular, right? But I didn't know. And I got really like intrigued by how the subconscious mind works and that it controls 95% of our reality, which is insane because if you think about it, we are constantly creating our reality through our subconscious mind. So it is important to make sure that we know how to use it to our advantage. Then from there, I started learning about manifestation from one of my favorite podcasts, Manifestation Babe. At this point, I've really outgrown her. So the things that I'm sharing with you guys is definitely a little bit more advanced as far as like giving you the thing that you need to understand manifestation better and make it work for you better. But like in the beginning, she was great. And I really learned a lot about the beliefs and the emotions and how creating your reality works on a deeper level. So from there, it's just been me being in this world ever since. I also read Esther Hicks. Her name is Abraham Hicks. That's the name that she displays out in the world. But I read her book, Ask and It Is Given, very, very popular. And it was all around the universe, manifesting, the law of attraction. Maybe you guys have heard of this before, maybe not, but the law of attraction is a universal law. There's a lot of universal laws, but back then I was like, oh, this is the universal law. This is the OG. Like, I got to live my life according to this law. And then as time has gone by, I've learned that there's a lot more laws that are important as well. And so today, I really wanted to give you guys a little bit of a foundation around what manifestation really is and to look at it from a different perspective because I really want you to just open up your mind and your awareness so that you guys can start noticing this more in your reality because the moment you learn something, it literally becomes like a checkpoint of your brain is continuously just like looking for proof for it to be true. So I want to give you guys what you need to really take this information in. So the very first things that I want to talk about is our creator field. That is what I call our EMF field, which is in science terms, electromagnetic field, which we all have. And it composes of our aura, our thoughts, our beliefs, our emotions, what we think about ourselves, what we think the world thinks about us. And what happens is that this thing, it stretches out very far away and people are constantly picking up on your energy. This is why you can be around certain people and without them saying something, you can constantly catch a vibe. You can know if this person's for you or not. You just kind of feel what you're feeling is their creator field. You're feeling the beliefs that they have about themselves. And that's why some people end up acting certain ways towards you versus other people. And so this is really important to understand because everything is happening from here. And the other thing I want to talk about is what I call ingredients. And that is just the basic understanding of beliefs. And beliefs are so important. And what people don't really know is that our beliefs are created from our thoughts that we think. And what's even crazier is that 98% of the thoughts that we have are not even our own. Okay, I just want you to take that in. And I know it's a tough pill to swallow because you're like, what? But we are constantly not having our own thoughts unless you have energetic hygiene. So, like for me, I have shields and I have things to get other people's thoughts out of my thoughts and be able to have my own. If you guys want me to create something for you guys, by the way, to give you guys what it is that I do, then let me know. I can definitely whip that out for you and make it some type of like email subscription type of thing so that we can stay in touch. But yeah, it's definitely really, really helpful to have that because then you're at least minimizing the thoughts from intruding into your own brain. Because the thing is a lot of people end up taking on other people's thoughts, especially if they're emotionally connected and rooted to it. Whoever has like the stronger emotional connection to their belief wins the fucking game. They literally like transform the energy of the room. And you may have experienced this. You may have experienced, you know, you guys having a good time and then someone with a really shitty mood walks into the room and then it just like kills the vibe. It kills the energy. At least it makes it harder for you to like stay on the vibe that you were at. And so this is why. And so ingredients are really important because there are certain ingredients that you need to insert into your creator field to create a certain type of manifestation, certain type of outcome. It's literally like baking a cake. You need all the ingredients to make the perfect cake. And if you're missing any ingredients, it's not going to turn out the way that it needs to. So it's the same concept, but these two things are really important to understand because then you're not just living life on autopilot. You're like thinking about, okay, what are the thoughts that I'm having? What are the beliefs that are happening? You'll start to notice a pattern going on, and then you'll see why certain things happen in your life because of the beliefs that you hold. So this is kind of like reverse engineering to help you understand, okay, like this is why I created that versus like, why is this happening to me? Which a lot of fucking people do. And we're not doing no victim shit here because we're not victims, bitch. Like we are so powerful. And I really want you guys to understand that. Cause like when I started learning about this stuff and I started fucking around with it, like I love to fuck around and find out. So like I just love playing around with stuff and like seeing what I can create from the beliefs that I hold and the energy work that I do and all these things. It's been really cool to see it all play out, like literally in real time. This is why this work is so important because if you're somebody that has big dreams and maybe you want to attract the perfect partner in your life, maybe you want to get a dream career that you never thought was possible, but you know, understanding this work, it is fucking possible. It's all based on the beliefs that you hold. Maybe you want to attract a dream home, whatever the fuck it is that you want to manifest and have. Understanding this work is really going to help you actually make it happen. And most people live their lives literally in victim mode. They live their lives not realizing that they are creating their reality. And some people realize that they are, but they just don't feel like it's possible for them and they don't see that this is this, like A plus B equals C. So I want to kind of crack your brains open. And I do want to preface that, man, intuition has been a game changer for me. We all have intuition. We've all heard of this. And I'm so happy that it's becoming more normal now because, and if this is the first time you're hearing this, well, intuition is what the fuck you need for life. But we all have it. It's just that we have not used it in a way that we know what we're doing with it. And there's information coming in all the time. Like what I like to best explain intuition is the tool that you use to read light energy, and light energy is everywhere. Like everything is made up of light. And so you're just using intuition to decode a language, a light language of what it's telling you. And there's so many different ways that you can, whether it's through the third eye and being able to see, whether it's through hearing and you can internally like hear something in your head, or externally. There's so many different ways, or inner knowing. That's like the strong one for me. We all have it. It's just that we haven't learned how to trust it and learn how to use it. But if you have, this is going to make it so much easier for you. And if you haven't, it's okay. We are definitely going to be having a prerequisite episode around intuition because it is very key. It's a big part of my life. It's really helped me hack the system with manifestation and understand manifestation, because the thing is a lot of us do things, but we don't know why. And until we know why, we're able to actually be better at it and make it happen. I've noticed this a lot in my own life of where I've compared myself a lot to other people of like how fast people are manifesting things. And looking at my life and I'm like, I'm doing all this shit. Like, what the fuck? It's not happening fast enough. Or like, I want to create this. Like, how can I do that? Like, how did they do it? And like getting into the spiral of like feeling shitty about myself because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And like, I want what they have, but I don't know how. And if you've ever felt that way, which I feel like most people do, the thing that I'm going to give you right now is going to change your perspective forever. And it definitely did for me. So I know it's going to do that for you. And it helped me be more in that state of flow. So I know a lot of people talk about restriction, right? Like the repelling energy that if you want something so much, like your manifestations can't come to you because you're in that lack energy. And that is true. So this is going to help with not being in that energy anymore, but it's also going to help you feel like it is possible, but also feel more at ease with where you're at. Because I think a lot of people don't really realize that it is important to kind of acknowledge where you're at right now. Because if you're not appreciating what you have right now, like you're not going to be happy when that manifestation comes through. And I know your higher self and God does not want that for you. They want you to have the thing and actually enjoy it. So the biggest thing that causes a lot of people to compare themselves and to feel like, oh, why is this happening faster and my manifestation's not happening fast enough, or I don't even know if I'm going to get it, is this concept of soul contracts. Now, if this is the first time that you've heard of it, soul contracts is basically our soul that has signed up with source, which I call God, whoever you want to call it, signed up a soul contract, meaning that we're going to have certain lessons and certain masteries, things that we learn in this lifetime that we have a lot of growth from, soul growth. So we have soul contracts with source, and everyone's uniquely different. Therefore, everyone's purpose is so different, right? The things that they create in their lives is going to be so unique and special to them. So some of these soul contracts already have this agreement with your higher self, which is like the limitless version of you that kind of gives you certain ingredients to give you an upper hand on what's going to be your strengths and easy for you, and then what's going to be the thing that you're learning, like your soul lessons and your masteries that you're learning, right? So we all have it. And one of the ones, like, for example, for me is magnetism. So I didn't realize how magnetic I was until people kept telling me. But the thing is, my higher self gave me those ingredients into my field to give me that boost, to make it easier for me to draw people in and draw opportunities in and all these things without me realizing it. But then there's other things like self-love, like putting myself first, self-prioritization. That is something that I have been just working on. It's something that is going to require more effort on my end because it's a mastery. It's something that my higher self wants me to master. So, of course, any type of manifestation that comes through of being chosen or money financially prioritizing you, people prioritizing you, all of those things that happen by you putting yourself first is going to, it happens, but it's going like the way that I desire to happen, like the way I see it to happen, it's going to take its time because I'm chipping away the beliefs that are not in alignment with that. And then I'm going in those next levels to really solidify that into my creator field. So there's going to be your strengths, and then there's going to be things that your soul wants you to master. And these come all into soul contracts. And so what's really cool learning about soul contracts and understanding this concept of it is knowing that some people are going to, become millionaires, let's say, and not know how the fuck they got there because their higher self planned for it, for them to have a different lesson in their life that they have signed up for. Maybe it is a financial lesson, or maybe it's some other kind of lesson. Like we all know there's a lot of like millionaires out there, but they're miserable. Like their relationships suck, right? So I want you to start thinking about manifestation this way of there's a soul contract. And I will tell you right now that majority of the people out there in the world that have some level of success, not to say all of them don't know what the fuck they're doing, but most of them don't. And most of them don't because they don't understand this concept of soul contracts and why they have certain things in their life or why they know how to do certain things. Like a lot of people that are teaching strategies and all these different things, if you were to ask them, okay, how do I actually replicate what you did for myself? They wouldn't know how to teach you that. And even if they did, they wouldn't be able to guarantee that shit. And also, they wouldn't know why they ended up with that kind of success, like why that happened the way that it did for them. Like understanding the why really helps you understand the mechanics of things and why it happens. Because once you do, you can repeat that shit. Like you know what the fuck you're doing. So anytime we feel like someone is manifesting faster than we are, we got to take this into account of like what is in their soul contract. What has their higher self planned for them for this to happen? Because there's something else going on. And this is why we never want to trade lives with anybody. I used to think this a lot from like my mentors that I used to learn from and some other people that I'm like, shit, I want their life. But no, you don't, because you don't want every single thing from their life for your own. There's always something that someone struggles with. And you have your own strengths too. It all has a purpose. So we never want to like compare ourselves to anyone else's journey. And if someone's manifesting everything that you want and doing it faster than you have, there's a bigger reason. I want you guys to think big picture and think of like, I actually would rather know the why and how things are working out and build from a solid foundation than to try to speed up things and not know like how the fuck it happened. And then what if it all crumbles one day, you know, or just be externally reliant on something keeping me happy. That's another big thing that a lot of people, when it comes to manifesting, they think that the thing that they want is going to make them happy once they have it, like once things happen. But you're still in that same energy no matter what. Like you never want to put your sense of peace of mind, I would say, more than anything, your sense of happiness based on whether something is happening or not, because then you're never ever going to be in control of your own happiness. And that is truly when you create from this place of lack versus creating from this place of power. So to tie everything into a bow for you guys, I want you guys to just sit with this concept of soul contracts and start to ask yourself, you know, where have I been comparing myself of someone having the thing that I want and me feeling like shit about it and me actually putting pressure on myself and just feel like I'm not able to have it for myself? Like, where has this been happening? Because you got to look in, if you have intuition, then you can look into the soul contract. And if you haven't trained your intuition, that's okay. But this is something that I want to just give you guys as an awareness practice. Start to notice, first of all, your actions, your habits, your patterns. Think about what you currently do and reverse engineer as to what type of beliefs would this action that I'm taking need to have. So if I feel like nobody ever puts me first, okay, a lot of people fucking struggle with that. Then let's say like you have that belief and you're going to then notice your interaction with somebody. And if there's a moment of you kind of minimizing yourself or you wanting to say something but you don't, or you wanting to do something but then the other person wants to do something and so you're just like, all right, that's fine. Pay attention to those actions that you're taking, the thoughts that you're having in those moments, because that will give you a telltale sign of, oh shit, like maybe I don't put myself first. Why is that? Go deep in this shit because it's going to give you a lot more clarity as to your habits, your patterns, the beliefs that you may hold. And then from there, you can start what I call pattern interrupting, which is literally what I say embodiment of breaking the fucking brain and body, those neural pathways that you have, those beliefs that you have, one layer at a time around taking a different action from what you would normally do. So if you found out you have that belief and you do those things that I just explained, next time you go into a situation like that, just try one little thing. Maybe say what's on your mind and be like, I'm safe. Like I was good. You know, I'm always fine. Like I'm glad I did that for myself. Or maybe you say what you want to do instead and see if you guys can find a middle ground. Start to do this for like people that you admire, right? it is scientifically, metaphysically true that you cannot see in other people what you don't have within yourself. So start to like see the people that you admire and the things that they have. Ask yourself, first of all, what is it that they have that you want and why? It's always a fucking feeling that we want, guys. Always. So get real about what the feeling is. Start giving that shit to yourself by getting creative with how you give it to yourself. And then also ask yourself, what are the beliefs that that kind of person would have to be able to create that? Reverse engineer that shit and start to incorporate that through actions. I feel like actions are the most easiest ways that you can start to integrate these beliefs into your system. It is what I call embodiment. And so, you know, when you do the action, you have proof to show your brain that, hey, this is true, versus trying to sit down and do this like reprogramming work, which I do, and there's a place for that. But action is very powerful. It gets the brain and the body both on board, and both are necessary for you to be in that embodiment, be the match to create that type of situation that you desire to happen. There's also universal laws that come into play. And I will be diving deeper into the most important universal laws that I have definitely seen great results with in my life and also see play out. And most people don't realize that universal laws are so important. And like oftentimes people are so focused on their belief work and all these things that most people forget if they're using the law in their favor or not. A big one is the law of focus, which is another word for law of attraction. People misuse this law all the time. And they also don't realize that there's multiple laws playing together at once that affect your manifestation from coming in or not. So it's not just like belief work, it's also the universal laws. I am actually diving deeper into that in my mini course that I'm creating for you guys. So excited about this because I wanted to create this to give people that are new to my world, or maybe you've been following me for a while and listening to this podcast for some time. And I wanted this program to be foundational for you, where I give you the most needle moving tools that you need, the most effective, efficient tools, because that's the way I think, that if you even implemented some of the tools in my mini course, that you would be able to see results more than most people ever fucking would. And I also wanted this course to be a place where if you never invested in anything with me ever again, where if you never booked a one-on-one session with me, or if you never purchased a future course with me, that you would have what you need to make reality your bitch. So in this program, I'm going to be including 4 major pillars, and it's all going to be around manifestation. It's going to be around intuition. It's going to be around your self-image, which is basically your identity. So how people see you, how you see yourself. And then we're going to have emotional mastery. These are the tools that I use in my life day to day. This is the core of my work, even when it comes to healing the body, aesthetically, internally. Like these are the foundations. So I want to give you guys the best tools that I have. I mean, there's going to be probably a lot more tools that I end up creating, but at least for now, I wanted to make this course simple yet effective, and like giving you the best of the best so that you guys don't have to do the most to still get the kind of results that you want in your life. So it's going to be upcoming. I do have another prerequisite episode that I want to do. And if you have not listened to the previous prerequisite episodes, I highly recommend it. It just really helps set up the foundation to the foundation. So I will link them in the description box below. I'm also creating a community for you guys. I have been diving into Substack, and it's like a social media platform, kind of like one for newsletter and blogs and stuff. And I really like it. I like the concept of it. And I wanted to create a safe space for women to be able to express themselves authentically and also be supported in their journey, and for a place for us to connect. You know, social media, I have had a love-hate relationship with social media lately, with like Instagram, and I like TikTok, but I feel like I want a deeper connection than just like the surface level shit in social media. So this will be coming out soon. I'm working on it with my assistant to like get it up and going, and I will be sharing that with you guys. So you guys can subscribe and enjoy all the content. So it'll be like things that I'm doing that I like, that I enjoy, just being more intimate with you guys. I have been working on that for so long and I do feel like it's getting better, but this will be like the next step for me to really just pour my heart into you guys and share a little bit more of my inner world. So stay tuned for that. But thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys found any value from this episode, please leave me a review. I want to grow this podcast and your help matters. Your help really makes it happen, and share it with a friend as well, because if you resonated with this, your friends will definitely will, and it'll definitely help them out too. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.